All right. Good morning, and thank you for joining us for this week's weekly Wednesday presentation from the Catskill Center for Independence. This presentation is being recorded and will be uploaded to the Otsego County Office for the Aging Facebook page and to our county website. I ask that everyone except the presenter and myself keep your videos turned off and that you remain muted unless you have a question. Please feel free to unmute yourself and ask your questions as we move through this presentation. You can also use the chat feature if you prefer, and I will ask those questions for you. For those that are new to weekly Wednesday presentations, we host presentations every Wednesday using the same link at 11 a.m. Topics are on various community-based organizations around Otsego County. This was established in October of 2020 as a way to continue education on services and supports amid a global pandemic. For those who do not know me, my name is Alicia Chase. I'm Otsego County's long-term care coordinator. My role here at Office for the Aging is to supervise the New York Connects program. New York Connects is the connection for all long-term services and supports. Although my office is under Office for the Aging, we are unique that we are able to help anyone of any age who is looking for help navigating this complicated system. We can assist those who want information and assistance, need referrals to other community-based organizations such as the Department of Social Services, Mental Health, Single Point of Access, Catskill Center for Independence, Family Resource Network. We even do inter-office agencies here at Office for the Aging. We can connect people to Social Security, help with applications, and help seek additional information about admission to adult homes or nursing homes. If you are unsure if New York Connects can help you or your loved one, please do not hesitate to reach out. We also have a New York Connects partner, Vince Baker, with the Independent Living Center in Oneonta. Those wishing to reach out to me can do so by calling us here at Office for the Aging, 547-4232. At this time, I'm going to turn the program over to Don Wyckoff with the Catskill Center for Independence for today's presentation.
Well, good morning, everyone. How are you? I've been here for about 18 years, so I've got a lot I could say. I just want to make sure that we're getting the most out of it. So is there anyone who is not familiar with the center?
The two that are here live with us are new caseworkers from Office for the Aging, so they probably could use a whole overview of what you have to offer.
Okay, cool. All right. So basically, we're one of 40 independent living centers throughout New York State. Each independent living center has its own coverage areas. Ours are Otsego, Delaware, and Schoharie, and parts of Shenango. We offer a lot of services, and one of the things that we always say is that it does not matter who calls us. We're going to help you if it's a disability-related question. So that being said, I want to direct people immediately to the ccfi.us website. That's going to help with just about anything or any question that anyone has. We've also recently installed the feature to help folks that need services get services quicker by going to the Get Services link on our website. And once you get there, there's three highlighted links there: Consumer Service Record, Consumer Rights, and Consumer Grievance Procedures. Now, those are just the things that if somebody wants to fill those in, send them to us. It makes them a consumer of our services. All of our services are always free, so we never call asking for money. So I always let people know to tell their people that they're working with that if they ever get a call from us, because this has happened before, using our name to try to raise money, we never do that. So anywho, Consumer Service Record, you send that in. Consumer Rights is more about your understanding of the rights that you have as a consumer. The grievance procedures, in the event that the consumer feels like they haven't been advocated for to the best of our ability, like, or they, whatever grievance. We've never got one. So we are an agency that is mostly run by people with disabilities. Our board consists of, I believe, 75% of people with disabilities. So that's the background of who we are as far as what we can do to get people services online. Anyone else, just give us a call, 607-432-8000. Someone will answer that phone. We are currently working from home and in the office, kind of hybrid, but someone is always able to be reached. Okay, so I just want to make sure that everybody can still hear me before I go into this next spiel. Alicia, can you hear me in there?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Any questions at this point?
None have. Oh, I have one question in the chat. Oh, Christy says she can hear you and no questions yet.
Okay, good. All right. So there's a lot of things we do. For me, I'm the director of community relations. I work with the community on a lot of different things for outreach and stuff like that. But I'm also the person that does the accessibility stuff for the agency. I've been here 18 years, and I've been a codes officer. I've done all those things working with the ADA and ABA to make people's homes and businesses accessible. So basically, we have an on-site service where I can come out to people's homes in Delaware, Otsego, or Schoharie, again, parts of Shenango, Norwich, and do an on-site assessment where I look at what is and what is not accessible. I make all my comments. I put it into a report, including a blueprint, referrals to any of the things that we had discussed while I'm at the on-site with them, connections, referrals, any of that stuff happens then. And about a week later, they get an on-site report that they can then use for justification for some of their, insurance providers that may be assisting, or one of the waiver services that we'll talk about. But anyways, so that's a really comprehensive survey of a person's property or business, and the purpose is always to help them, make their home accessible. All right, so business-wise, we also take accessibility complaints for issues where a public accommodation is not providing the right accommodations for people with disabilities. So sometimes we'll get those things. I go out to the place. I do not go out adversarially. I go out as a friend, basically trying to help them understand that they can increase their sales if they were accessible. And there's a way we can do it with some tax incentives and things like that. A lot of people don't know that there are tax incentives for businesses to make their place accessible. And when they start hearing complaints, they immediately, get defensive. And we've had issues with some hostilities when people hear that they have to make things accessible. But I have a pretty good reputation of smoothing things over and getting that stuff done. All right, so also adaptive equipment and assistive technologies. So we get a lot of donations. We have a huge lending closet here. We have everything from wheelchairs all the way down to canes, crutches, walkers, bath chairs, things like that. We also get a lot of large equipment. I never know when I'm going to get it. So if you have a consumer that needs something in particular and you can't find it, call us first. It's always free. We loan it out. It's just a signature that they'll return it, and an agreement basically that they waive all rights. They've seen it, they think it's good, and they can take the equipment with them. I just recently got a stair lift donated, so that was one of the larger items. So we have already got that going into somebody's house. It's a huge service. So if you have people that have passed or are trying to get rid of things, we do take items such as the wheelchairs. As long as everything's operable, we've received a lot of things that aren't, and we end up throwing them in the garbage. So we're not drop off. If somebody just calls us, let us know what you got, they can donate it there. Also, for people that are trying for tax purposes, we do provide them with a tax receipt saying what it's worth and that they donated it to the center. They can use it at the end of the tax year. Any questions up to this point?
No questions.
Good. Okay. Moving forward, just to let you know, there's also hospital beds, scooters, things like that. I never know when I get them, so I always have the people give me a call, and I'll put them on a waiting list that I have there called People in Need. And I think it's magical because sometimes I put it on there and it's amazing. As soon as I put it on, somebody calls me and donates that item. So it's awesome. With the architectural barrier consultation, like I said, that's a free service. Have the client call, or your consumer call us directly, or somebody that's going to be in that, allow me to be in the home, give me permission legally. As the COVID stuff is going on right now, I am making on-sites. I didn't want to put people off. As long as they're comfortable wearing a mask, I always have mine on and follow all the precautions so I can do in-site or on-site visits in the house. I guess that's all on that. All right, so we do have a lot of different programs. Again, I'm going to keep referring people back to ccfi.us. It's the easiest way to find out the different things that we offer, but service coordination through the different waiver services. What is the audience that I'm speaking to right now, just so I can make the best of our time?
So currently we have caseworkers with Office for the Aging, but it will be viewed by, my hits are usually in the evening, by community members.
Okay, okay.
But our live viewers are Office for the Aging caseworkers.
Oh, okay, all right. Kind of lost myself. Okay, so here we go. Waiver services. There's a few, two of which are the most prominent is the TBI and the NHTD waiver. So the NHTD waiver is the nursing home transition and diversion waiver. A person on Medicaid that qualifies for Medicaid is eligible for this. I'm not the coordinator, so I'm not going to give you too much in depth, but just to let you know that this waiver basically allows people to stay in their home. The money is designed to keep people from going to a nursing home or people that want to transition from a nursing home back into the community. So the idea is diversion. We're hoping to keep people out of nursing homes. It's a difficult place to get out of if the home that they're returning to is not accessible. I could do a whole presentation just on that alone. So if you ever want to speak about, in particular, these kind of waivers, we could do that as well. But then there's also the traumatic brain injury waiver. So one of the other ones that we do, we have service coordinators here that are actually working with that. The waiver particulars, again, I think that would be something that we can refer back to. If you go back to our website and look at these waivers individually, you can copy or forward these links to consumers, or the consumers that are watching can follow on our page. I also want to mention you can find us on Facebook if people are on there at the Catskill Center for Independence. We have benefits advisement here at the center. So a lot of times people will get an injury or whatever, and everything in an instant changes in their lives, from how they're going to get in and out of their home to their insurance problems. So having the benefits advisement and the people that can walk people through the qualifying of Medicaid and things like that are something that we do here. So if they have any of those kind of questions, anything related to benefits advisement, just call us here at the center. We also have employment services. I know there is an ACES presentation that's going to come out that talks about that for Schoharie County that we'll stick in here. We of course have the personal care attendants and the things that are listed on our website, but as COVID has happened right now, things are difficult. Some of the mandates for going in and out of homes has been an issue. Does anyone right now have a question as to what anything?
Just give them a minute to type in the chat.
Yep.
When it comes to adaptive equipment, is there staff available to assist with the install, for example, the stair lift?
No, but we do provide resources to who can actually do the installations. And if they're attached to a waiver program or they have a Medicaid program that they're working with, a lot of times those things are covered. I can help to identify what those adaptations would be. Recently, we had a lady that she's progressively losing her vision and was worried about going to the nursing home. I went into the home and showed her some of the adaptive technologies that could help her stay more independent. Her fears were not being able to hear the phone or see, if there was a fire or any of those kind of things. So we went through the house and started to work with some of the new technologies that she would be able to navigate, as well as just using the Google services and teaching her how to do that, to set timers for medicine reminders, and being able to call people from that phone without having to look at in buttons. There's ton of new technologies, and I get excited about that because it lets me research and explore on each individual's disabilities. It's something that's ever evolving, so I enjoy that part of it.
If someone has DME, do you have staff that can assist with repairs, like brakes on a wheelchair?
Um, you know, I can't because we don't have a certified installer, so I'm never going to do that. I wouldn't want to risk anybody on my own incompetence. What I would be quicker to do would be to replace your chair for you and bring it into us. We'll swap one out for you that works. You know, if this is something that's not a specialized chair. Other than that, again, I would have to refer you back out, and that's what we do mostly is a lot of the referral stuff, connecting people to where these things can be done. Sunshine in Oneonta, there's a ton of them. So if anybody has any questions about repairs or anything, again, call me. I personally will take care of that, Don Wyckoff. Is there any other questions regarding DME?
The only two so far.
Okay, so there's something called the Olmsted Housing Subsidy Program. It's another program that we're working with. It's funded by the New York State Department of Health and Medicaid Redesign Team. Basically, it's for people 55 years or older, or they have to be like 18 with a documented chronic disability. They have to be enrolled in Medicaid. This is a program that helps folks with getting out of nursing homes, basically. And so younger, they would have to meet a nursing home level of care as determined by the Uniform Assessment System for New York. They have to be living in the nursing home for a minimum of 120 consecutive days. If those things are in place, then they make a request that they would like to leave the nursing home. And then they will call our coordinator, which is Heather Merrill, actually, and she'll set up a meet with them. Right now, currently it's over the phone, but basically set up a meet with them and then be able to transition and help with the transition. And that's also meeting with the coordinators in the nursing home as well, the rehab teams, discharge planners, and things like that to effectively transition them back into the community. So with that program, there is money called CTS funds, and these are used for like the transitioning stuff for like they get out. They've now got an apartment that we found them that's accessible to their needs or whatever. Incidentally, they're only required to pay 30% of their rent for this particular program. It covers the other 70%. And then they basically move in to a new apartment. Those CTS funds are used for, you know, the microwaves, TVs, all the incidentals that everyone needs to start up a new thing. So I guess the message here is that there are a lot of people that want to get out of nursing homes. Housing, accessible housing is very difficult to find. So what we do is try to find these places that are quasi-accessible and try to work really hard with volunteers or using some of the CTS funds or coordinating with an NHTD TBI waiver funds or something from Medicaid to be able to cover the costs to make it accessible. I get this question a lot. What if the landlord doesn't allow me to make it accessible? They have to. They have no choice. It's the law. They do have the ability to say that they would like those accessible, things that we've implemented in the home. They can ask to have those removed. I've never had a landlord say, I want this stuff taken back. I want this more accessible place put back to less accessible. Doesn't make sense. Anyways, I could get lost on that alone for a day. So does anybody have any questions regarding homestead housing subsidy programs, waiver services, TBI, any of that stuff?
I don't, but Heather Merrill, just so everyone knows, is going to do a presentation in August, specifically on those two programs that she supervises there.
Right. Yep. Yeah. So, and she's awesome. She definitely goes for it.
Watch for that.
What's that?
I said watch for that. I think it's August 8th, but not positive.
Yeah, I'm not sure which one she's doing. There is another program that we're doing right now. Of course, you know that we are part of New York Connects, Vince Baker, as you said in the opening. There's not much really more for me to go over as far as what our services are. It's basically this in a nutshell. We refer people with disabilities to the right people. If they run into problems, we will advocate for them on their behalf and help them get connected to who they need to be, because we all know how much red tape there is, and we all know how hard it is to get in contact with who we need. In the middle of a crisis, you're disabled, you're a senior, it's already impossible to navigate. So please use our services, give us a call, forward these folks and anyone listening, come to our website, go to the Get Services program, and just fill in those three little boxes. There's 3 links. It's very simple, it'll take 5 minutes. They are now consumers of the service. None of our services cost anything, and we'll always be there to advocate for it. They can also remember to call us if they need any kind of DME, right down to lift chairs. We also get those too. Call us for that. They may have to go on a waiting list, but I may have it that day. They never know, so just call us. Most importantly, fill those that Get Services link and become a member. It's so much easier to navigate. Once you call us, you're in our records. We don't have to ask you all the same questions over and over. It just makes it much faster for you to get a response. You can reach out to us on the Facebook page as well, and that's checked every day. So with the COVID thing, it's been weird, but we're at it every day, so Monday through Friday anyways. And I guess all I would say is continue to send folks to us that have any disability related questions. There's no qualifiers, so just call us. And I think that's it. The only other program I wanted to tell you all about is something I'm excited about. It's going back down to Sullivan County. For the last 13 years, we've been doing a program called Through Children's Eyes. And basically, it's an experiential learning program that I developed with a SUCO professor, Ken Sider. And we started it in elementary school. It's basically an education model where we go into the schools and we are not just showing people about disabilities, but we're spending a month in the schools so that each and every student has a day to participate where they are disabled for the entire day, in a chair all day, blind all day, or deaf all day, as much as we can simulate. And the purpose of that was to be able to teach through empathy instead of sympathy, which is one of the shortcomings we found of a lot of other presentations. Once that became real to these students, not only were they educated, they became empowered. And when they became empowered, things started to happen in the schools. But the biggest thing that happened is that we're starting to shift the culture of the way people perceive people with disabilities by getting kids at a very young age to be able to see, understand, interact with, and realize that we are all temporarily disabled or temporarily able. It's just a matter of time before we're each experiencing one of these things. So with that, thank you for listening. If anyone has any questions, they can call us at 607-432-8000. Reach out to us on the website, ccfi.us, or on Facebook. And that is it. I hope that helped, unless there's questions.
No other questions. So thank you for joining us today.
Okay, I appreciate it. Have a good day.
You too.